We all know the pro wrestling F word. If you're a fan and you've ever talked to someone about pro wrestling who isn't a fan themselves, at some point you've undoubtedly heard some variation of, "It's fake," or, "You know it's fake, right?" Well, yeah, and I'm totally okay suspending my disbelief just as I am when I read a book or watch a show or movie. I also get that pro wrestling is different from those mediums because it also brings with it the illusion of a live combat sport such as boxing or MMA. But anyway, if you're watching this, you're probably a wrestling fan already and you know all this, so I'll just move on by saying that for wrestling fans, some of the most compelling moments, whether during a match or a promo, happen when we say, well, I know that was scripted, but was this? Between May 28th and June 1st, 2022, pro wrestling fans were asking these questions a lot more than they have in a long time, and we've been left wondering, where is this all going, and is it going to be worth it? I'm Rivenblade, and today we're looking at how MJF and Tony Khan are blurring the lines between what's real, what's not, and why it matters. Saturday, May 28th, the day before Double or Nothing and the climax of a 2-year-long story between MJF and Wardlow. It is reported that MJF has no-showed an AEW meet and greet fan event, building on months of frustration regarding how little he's getting paid compared to the influx of ex-WWE talents. It is later reported that a plane ticket has been purchased for or by MJF, it's still unclear, to fly out of Las Vegas, jeopardizing the pay-per-view match and Wardlow's big moment. Sunday, May 29th, the morning of Double or Nothing, YouTube videos hyping the match are put up, taken down, and eventually put up again. As showtime approaches, reports trickle in that we should expect MJF to be on the show, and he is, as he's booed mercilessly, power-bombed into oblivion, and taken off on a stretcher with a comically misapplied oxygen mask. It looks like MJF and Tony Khan have worked things out, at least for a night. In the post-pay-per-view media scrum, Tony Khan is asked about the situation and states he will not be commenting on it. Reports say that MJF came in just before his match and left immediately after with Pat Buck. Monday, May 30th. Reports on various wrestling news sites say that MJF is not expected to appear on AEW TV in the near future. This seems to make sense given the gravity of the situation. Tuesday, May 31st. Tony Khan and MJF reportedly meet to discuss the situation. We can only assume the meeting goes well as Wednesday, June 1st, AEW Dynamite. MJF appears in the second segment of the night, sandwiched between a CM Punk segment and a Johnny Elite and Miro segment, and cuts a scathing promo on his boss, his co-workers, AEW fans, and his employer at large. If you're here, you've probably seen the promo, you've got your feelings about it, and you're wondering, just like the rest of us, where it is all going. Personally, I am extremely confident that there were and potentially still are real tensions between MJF and AEW. This story began with real-life frustrations and disputes. There is no doubt about that. However, those frustrations and disputes have now been turned into an on-screen story, or a shoot that has turned into a work, which leaves us with a lot of important questions. 1. Is MJF working on his existing contract after being told by Tony Khan that they've still got 2 years left to figure things out, or has MJF already signed a contract extension with AEW for the money he's actually worth? 2. Does the talent know how much of this is a shoot and how much of it is a work? And 3. What is the end goal here? Regardless of MJF's contract situation, it seems he and Tony have worked out some kind of agreement that will keep MJF as an AEW talent for at least the next little while or longer. Personally, I would love it if MJF and Tony signed a contract extension behind closed doors and now are just penning the rest of the story together. What Tony Khan needs to avoid, however, and what he has apparently said in the past he will avoid, is work the locker room. The second you try to trick your own wrestlers, your own employees, you sow seeds of distrust and a backstabbing environment behind the curtain. By most accounts, this is not the type of place AEW is backstage, so I would be shocked if Tony is in fact trying to trick the other members of the locker room by withholding important information. That said, the lack of any new news regarding MJF's contract situation up to this point leaves more questions than answers. Finally, what is the end goal? Depending on how you feel about work shoot promos, you're either dreading or looking forward to what's coming next. Personally, I enjoy a bit of fourth wall breaking as long as it doesn't devalue what's happening on screen by reminding you that it's all a work, bro, aka it's all fake. In the end, as long as MJF doesn't start talking about scripts or not wanting to do the job for someone, I'm fine with almost everything he laid out in his promo. So what is next? Is MJF a face now? Are we about to embark on a storyline that sees AEW originals take on ex-WWE guys? It seems convenient for Hangman to have dropped that line about protecting AEW from CM Punk, for instance, just a little while before this promo. Or could MJF actually leave AEW in the middle of all this? In the end, I hope Tony Khan knows what he's doing here and that A, there is no dissension in the locker room and Tony Khan is being honest with everybody about what's going on. B, he and MJF are on the same page about where they're going and what they're doing with this story. And C, that there is a story that makes sense within the confines of pro wrestling. Again, breaking down the fourth wall is fine. It's even fun, as long as we don't tear down the whole house in the process. But what do you think? Is this a work? A shoot? And where do you see it going? Will MJF become the next AEW champion, and if he does, will it be as a face or a heel? There really are no wrong answers at this point. Personally, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. And if you enjoyed the ride of watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on notifications. I planned on taking a break for another month from my channel, but I just had to talk about this thing. I plan on making a lot more videos, a lot more consistently very soon, and I genuinely want to thank you all for sticking with me and for your patience. I appreciate it.